March 11th, 2016. I have the giggles right now for some reason. It's like, I can't stop giggling. Means I must be happy today. And I'm happy to be here with all of you who are listening to me. This is the Super Organizer Show with James Lott Jr., and I am James Lott Jr., the Super Organizer. You see how that works? Yes, yes, yes. SOS Show, here for you. You can follow us on Twitter at the SOS_show. And then, of course, on Facebook, there's a page, the Super Organizer Show. You can follow us, both of those, and I actually feature more of my guests who are on here, what they're doing, what I'm doing. I post links to the show and everything, so please do that, of course. And if you want to talk to me in other ways, I'm at Black Hope LA on Twitter. That's BLAK, Hope LA on Twitter, and James Lott Jr. everywhere else. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. We're live from Los Angeles, and I'm here, of course, 'cause I'm not alone. I always introduce him. He's the man who I was talking about drugs with before the show, that he should be on them, but he won't take them. Brian.
I like the way he described me. It was, you were playing how I would introduce myself to people, and I said, hello, my name's Brian, and I need medication, but I refuse to take it.
That's right. And I'm like, he needs it. Give it to him.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to everybody listening. Thank you for tuning into the Super Organizer Show. We appreciate every one of you listening, and obviously you're here because you want to do something different with your life, which is what I learned too. I'm a member of the audience because I don't know any of this information prior to the show starting. James just kind of sits there and ignores me before the show starts, but he pretends to be my friend on microphone.
It's fun, be pretending. I used to be an actor, so that kind of, works.
Thespian.
I was you call me what? Thespian. So welcome. And today it's going to be an all-tip show. It's all about you. I'm calling it the You Show. I've done one of these before, and people liked it, so I'm bringing it back. It's going to be all about you. I'm going to invite you to think of things differently, in a different way. And just give me a good time. But of course, before I do all of that, I do my thanks and gratitude. And, I feel like, giving thanks out loud is a great thing, putting it out to the universe, that energy, and giving gratitude. You should always live in gratitude and always give it. And so I'm going to start with my grandpa Bob. His birthday would have been this weekend, but he's not with us anymore. But, I miss him sometimes. I think about him, and he was a larger-than-life character, and it's been nice if he'd been around still. So I'm just giving you a little thanks and gratitude. I did have him in my life. He was a grandfather to me, so I'm really glad that I had him. I also want to thank AdrenalineRadio.com, of course, for letting me be on here and ramble on every week about time management organization. I also want to thank Radio Millennial. That's Cam Lewis and Doug Fredericks, who let me on their program. Finally, I was able to go on there, and I'm the voice of their intro. So it's kind of funny that I'm not even a millennial. Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk. Grant Rudder is my buddy. If you haven't heard the show, we talk about pop culture stuff. He is hilarious. I can listen to his East Coast accent all day long. I've done episodes 10 and 20. So I guess I have to go back for episode 30, I guess. There's some kind of theme going on there. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, he's a great guy, and you should listen to him. Generation U Radio, my boy Scotty Trippin. It's a fun hip-hop show based out of L.A. They do it every Friday at 6 p.m. And it's video and audio. They have like 8,000 people in their studio at one time. But they really give you a chance to talk about really serious topics in kind of a hip-hop urban sort of way. Scotty Trippin, I did an interview with him on my Breaking Into show on Black Hollywood Live, and I showed a serious side of him, that he is such a person who really is like what I do. He likes to share knowledge and pay it forward and really uplift everyone. He's such a great guy. The show is funny. It's a little, I would say, R-rated in the language sometimes. But I've been on the show once, and he's been inviting me back several times. I've made it happen because of scheduling, but I'm going back on the show. It's a lot of fun. Intimate Interrogations, my girl Yael Teagle. It's a new show she has put out. I'm on one of the episodes. It's kind of fun, and I want to give a shout out to her. I also want to give a little shout out to Sam Roberts. Many of you guys know him. He's a big-time radio person on Sirius Radio, and I think he's like third after Howard Stern. I forgot who's number 2 on there, and I got to meet him last year, and he gave me some great advice on doing radio, and so I want to give a little shout out to him. The It's Complicated show on LA Talk Radio with my girls Lauren Leonelli and Jennifer Golden. They are great. They're great ladies who have a talk show talking about dating and living in Los Angeles. They're two really nice people, and that's why I was always support them and follow them. We do shows together on AfterBuzz, but just their radio show is doing really well, and I'm just so proud of them. And I will be on their show at some point there too. And then, of course, Cameron Lewis show. I did that recently with Cameron Lewis once again. His radio show. He's just one of my best friends, and I enjoy working with him. And we're thinking about doing something together. We're trying to figure it out besides our TV shows. Growing up, I want to give a little shout-outs and gratitude to Richard Blade and Carol Q. Yes, I'm from the 80s. And when the birth of video was just starting, he had a show called MV3, which was it was on Channel 9 or something here in LA. And it was really the first time, besides MTV, where I got to see videos. But he was a really big DJ on Carol Q, which is our alternative station here in Los Angeles. And just growing up, it was just a great to listen to. Usually I listen to it after school. Rick Dees in the morning. I was a Rick Dees and his Cast of Idiots fan. I mean, my brother and I was every morning on Kiss FM. He was just the bomb. He was Chuy from La Puente and the Booney Wine, everything. He just had so many different characters, and the show was so good. And I remember listening to it every morning as I was getting ready for school and hoping one day I would have a radio show. Even though I don't do that kind of radio show like he does, but just having him on the radio every morning was very comforting. So Rick Dees is just, to me, a legend. And yes, I did buy Disco Duck. I do have that song. It was a #1 hit in 1976, and I love that song. Even though it's just like crazy, but it's a lot of fun with him. And doing that. And also I also used to listen to KDAY when it was on the AM dial, when it was 1580 KDAY. That's where you could hear all rap and kind of, back then, I guess it was called R&B, I guess. There were different names for it, but rap was really big back then, and that's where I fell in love with acts like Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim, and just people like that. It was another alternative to just regular radio. And so I just those are the things I have warm, fuzzy feelings about when I think back of my childhood, teenage years, early adulthood, which was 8,000 years ago. And I also want to give a congratulations to my quote-unquote bosses at AfterBuzz Media. Kevin Undergaro has got engaged to his 19 years girlfriend. Yes, Maria Menounos. They got engaged. I know, it's crazy. And he proposed to her on the Howard Stern show. It was so funny. So I'm very happy for them. I've already talked to Kevin. I know them. Kevin's like a mentor to me, and I've thanked him on the show before. I'm very proud of them. But long live radio. That's one of the reasons why I kind of brought it up. Long live radio. Radio is not dead. It just has other forms. Some of it is podcasts. Some of it is, what do you want to call it, video, whatever. But radio is still alive and well. And there's so many great programs out there. My friends are doing stuff, and I'm fully supportive of them. And I know they support me, and that's just kind of as you know, my village, they're part of my village. It's like you guys are part of my village. So I'll make sure I say that. So that's my thanks and gratitude for today, March 11th, 2016. All right. So like I said, this episode's all about you. And I took a poll yesterday on my Twitter account, which is Black Hope LA. I did a poll, and I asked people, what space of yours gets cluttered the fastest? The choices were bedroom, living room, and car. I'm going to ask my engineer, Brian, if any of these apply to him, which one gets cluttered the fastest?
Okay.
Or is it a different room altogether?
No, I would say bedroom. Was that one of the options?
Yes, one of the options.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I get home, whatever's on me, as far as like keys, wallet, receipts, boom, 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 hit the floor. There is nowhere for me to place any of these items in my room. And so, I wake up in the morning and I'm just stepping on keys. I'm stepping on my socks that I was wearing the previous day because I have no hamper because my hampers keep getting damaged by my dogs. But when I had a car, I would say my car also.
Yeah, cars.
And then what was the other one? Living room, right?
Living room.
Yeah, okay, that one too.
Because it's like those are the three places. Also, I guess there's kitchen. I could say kitchen, I guess, is one. Garage, I know is another one. I might do another poll later with like three other ones.
Closet.
Well, I'm thinking
that's bedroom too, I guess.
I guess, right? I almost did that. I almost said bedroom. I almost said bedroom and closet.
One time I went into a person's house. We were visiting. It was a friend of mine, and his family was super hoarders
Yes.
style.
Yes.
You walked in there, you had to kind of push the door aside, and the
Oh,
under things
yes.
would be falling. I'd never seen this before, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
They would keep clean clothes, in the restroom, cluttered, like it was clutter.
Like a big pile.
Yes, like
Oh.
a big pile on top of.
So you just grab stuff out when they get out of the shower.
Well, here's the thing: they would all reach for something, and if it was at the bottom of the pile, rip it out, and whatever fell from above the pile would rest neatly on the floor until somebody would pick it up.
That's crazy.
Or until somebody needed something else from underneath, further from the pile.
That's weird.
I've seen a cluttered restroom.
Okay, cluttered restroom. I've seen cluttered restrooms with like dirty clutter. I've never seen when they were clean.
Yeah, this was a weird situation they had.
I mean, I was one part thinking, well, I mean, it's kind of like you said, you get out the shower, you just grab something, and you're in. So I did this poll, and I got lots of votes. So what came at number one was bedroom. 57% said bedroom. Then the other two were basically almost a tie. Living room at 22%, car at 21%. Unfortunately, Twitter doesn't give you like a breakdown on like where they live and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really curious because car in LA, especially, people live in their cars. I mean, they live in their cars.
Oh yeah, well in the 405, after 6 o'clock, you might as well just sleep in it.
The 101. The 101 is horrible. I do it every day. Go to AfterBuzz.
If you're not from Los Angeles, just insert any number here. Is horrible. Is the things that we're screaming.
Yes.
After a certain time here
Well,
in Los
wait.
Angeles.
You said something before pre-show. What was the epiphany that you heard a phrase about traffic?
Yes, I was reading something on Facebook where they were giving inspirational quotes, but they were nihilistic, and I love this one. This is my favorite, the one that stuck with me. It said, "You are not stuck in traffic. You are the traffic." And in my head, I went, I have never, ever, ever put myself in that situation. It's always, I'm stuck in traffic. No. You are the traffic. Mm-hmm. You are causing the situation that you feel you're stuck in.
Yep.
Which is...
It's a great way to look at it. It's a great way to look at it. I never thought that either.
Oh, we're so narcissistic.
Yeah.
It's so Los Angeles.
It's happening to us.
Yes.
Everything's happening to us.
Nope, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not happening to us. You're causing it.
All these cars are causing traffic on every freeway in Los Angeles right now. I love that one. That's see, even I learned stuff. And I'm an old dog. I learned something new.
No, I love that quote.
I do too.
But I would agree with car.
Yeah, car in LA especially. I think in bigger cities like that.
Because what people, especially in Los Angeles, you eat in your car.
Yes, you do.
You always eat in your car. Everybody does that.
Yeah,
everybody eats in their vehicle. So what happens is you'll eat, and let's say you purchase something fast food, even if it's something that you packed at home, it goes in the back seat.
The back seat.
Back seat, and then it stays there for a week.
Well, there's also the whole thing of, especially in LA, a lot of people have multiple jobs, so you're going from one to another. So you have clothes in the car or in the trunk. You have this outfit over here and the keys over there. I mean, there's just so much going on in the back seat and in the trunk. It's like so much going on.
I'm not sure if I've never been to outside of Los Angeles, but I don't know if there's 24-hour laundry places.
Oh, funny.
In like other parts of the country, but there's also instances where you see someone's car and they have their entire laundry in their vehicle because they're either going to go after work or they just went before work and they didn't have time to drop it off. So that adds to the clutter.
Yeah, no, it does.
Sometimes you'll walk by a car and you'll see crayons and coloring books and things on the floor. But I think the car probably feels the most cluttered because you have more access to other people's. People can't hide what they have in their vehicle unless they have tinted windows. But I guess at home it's a little easier to hide unless you invite.
You close the door and then nobody's come over.
Yeah,
I love that.
So, but I like that poll. It
was a good one. No, that was good. So 57% bedroom, 22% living room, 21% car. So very close. That's interesting. But bedroom obviously was number one. And I always say we live in our bedrooms the most anyway, just about. Besides, I guess living room. I guess. Yeah, bedroom. I guess so, yeah. Well, I have a room. My bedroom is my living room. It's all together.
That's exactly my point, too. I have my anything that I would need from a living room is in my room.
Yeah, me too. I have one giant room. So I guess it's sectioned off, but it's all one. It's like a big studio apartment, kind of. I live in a house. That's how mine's set up. So that was really interesting. So I'm going to do some more polls like that for our show. I'm kind of curious because then it tells me where I should focus my attention on, too, when I talk to you guys. So, it's all about you. You, Y-O-U. And I'm inviting you guys today, and actually I wrote a bunch of blogs this week about different things, that it's okay to think about you. And it was funny, when I wrote this one blog about it, I got some conversations started online about the whole you and thinking about yourself. Because, I mean, I look at it as you're the most important person in your life, right? Makes sense. And you have to look out for you. I mean, yeah, there are other folks in your life that will help you out and stuff like that, but basically it all begins and ends with you. That's kind of how, I mean, any motivation, anything, you may lean on other people or look to other people, but it really is all you. And also the great thing about life, and luckily for those of you who live in America and many other countries, we have the freedom to be whoever we want to be. So that's another thing too. So you have the freedom to be you. I mean, you get to do that. So I always say it's okay to think about you. You're the most important person in your life. And so when I say those things, I ask these 3 questions usually of my clients when I say that, because I'm really curious to see what they think. When you hear those statements, how does it make you feel? Like, what are your immediate reactions to it's okay to think about you? Do you automatically disagree with that? Do you feel uncomfortable? Like, do you start to think of well, that's kind of selfish and that's self-centered, and when you say selfish, self-centered, then you're thinking of the bad uses of that or the negative connotations that go with that. Is it okay to be selfish and self-centered sometimes if you have a goal? I say yes, as long as you're not hurting people on purpose. But I always say when I say that, people will say things like, well, people are too self-centered already and they're in their own orbits, which I totally agree. Technology especially has done that to us, where we are on our phones, on our tablets, on our computers. We're behind a screen. We don't have to talk in person anymore. I know I had a discussion with somebody the other day about how people are, especially in LA and those other cities, I want. I need. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do for me? That's a big thing I know in Los Angeles, and I know it happens in other places too. But it's a really big thing in Los Angeles, and it can be a little much. But I feel like there are times you can separate that. There are times where you should think about you and to figure something out or to make a life change. I always feel like, how would your life change if you thought about you and what's best for you? How would it change? Seriously think about that. What's going on in your life now? Let's say your life is horrible now, but just think about this. Think of certain decisions you've made that you've made because of someone else, or because of someone else's feelings. Did you really think it through? Did you really look at it and go, wow, they may be upset for a minute, but they would get over it later maybe? Or the decision I would have made really wouldn't have affected them as hard as I thought it would have? Because whatever you do or don't do, the only person that really hurts is you. Really. It's just that simple. Now ask another question. Or do you not know what's best for you? That's legitimate. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you have no idea. You're like, maybe you grew up in an environment where you didn't learn that kind of skill to look out for what's best for you. That's totally possible. So you're like, I don't know. I have no idea. So now it's time for you to think about you. So you can get to that place and figure out what's best for you. You see how that connection goes? It's kind of like there's a connect the dots there. So you gotta because you want to figure out what's going on. Because I always feel when you come from a place of you, then answers come to you. Or at least you'll see the opportunities that are coming your direction. And when you also realize everything begins and ends with you and your attitude, which again is you, I think life changes for the better. So that's something to think about. Just really think about it. Because we're going to start, because this You show, we're starting from that place of now you're going to think about yourself so you can make some choices that will be best for you. And that's right. That's where we're going to start today. And then when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to start talking about more things, the next steps of that. But first, we're thinking about you. So remember that. The Super Organizer Show here on adrenalineeating.com. I'm James Lott Jr. We'll be right back.
Thanks for asking. asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. My webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Last night we put on an epic light show.
Yeah, we did.
The crowd loved us. We love the crowd.
Wait, but there were only 4 people out there.
Yeah, but did you see their 4 faces? All 8 of their eyes lit up brighter than ours. And we're fireflies.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that one girl, she looked like she'd never seen glow in the dark like this before, and we invented glow in the dark.
Yeah, we invented it.
And we're gonna be out here every night, rocking out our light show at a forest near you.
Woohoo!
So come check us out.
Check us out.
And bring your kid, all ages show. Oh, but don't bring any of those glass jars, because they make us kind of nervous.
Yeah, and I'm super claustrophobic.
Whether you're rocking their world or they're rocking yours, some memories never fade. Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you and discover other cool things to do when you go, like fishing, biking, or even camping. Visit discovertheforest.org.
See you later!
Yeah, see you soon.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Time to tune in and log on with Behind the Lens. Join noted film critic Debbie Lynn Elias and a lineup of talented co-hosts and informed guests each week as she goes behind the lens and below the line. We'll take in-depth looks at films and filmmaking with the movers and shakers and up-and-comers of the industry, along with movie reviews, interviews, awards, festival coverage, specialty segments like Tech Talk and Classic Corner. Tune in to Behind the Lens every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Adrenaline Radio.
It was a clear black night, a clear.
What's up? This is Warren G, you know what I'm saying? I'm here giving it up for RAD because they do a lot of good things for people. Before you drink, make sure that you got somebody that can drive your butt home so you won't crash or get pulled over and get a DUI. So go ahead and follow the route and everything will be cool. And don't be no fools. Peace, baby. Warren G.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
I love this little song. I love it. I love it. Welcome back to the Super Organizer Show with James Lott Jr. I'm James Lott Jr., the Super Organizer. Yes, the Super Organizer. We're talking about you. This music going on. We're talking about you, and you, and you, and you.
Usted.
I like them. That's the Spanish remix. Yes, I like it. So, okay. So, talking about you. So, now I'm getting you to think about yourself. I think you're going to think about you. You're important. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to say, and this may hurt people who, I'm taking this cough drop out of my mouth. There's not one way to do something. I know that a lot of our industry is predicated on the fact you can sell someone something saying, if you do it this way, your life will be better. There's an old song from the 90s by a group called The Tamperer. It was called, If You Buy This Record, Your Life Will Be Better. I love that song. But they talk about in the song, there's all these things like, if you buy this record, suddenly things will be better, and it's all because of this record. If you buy this record, things will change. Well, the same thing, books, audiobooks, almost said videotapes, that old, DVDs, streaming, whatever. It's like there's a lot of people will say you follow these 10 steps that I have that will make your life better. Now, mind you, some of those things may work, but I feel like we're all so unique and individual that 10 people could read this one book that says there are 9 steps to decluttering your life. And it works for 2, kind of works for 2 other people. The rest, it doesn't work at all. I just think that there's, even with myself, and I'm putting a book together too, of course, but my stuff isn't about just follow this and it will work, but I like to give you ideas and some varied solutions to a problem or to an issue. and so that you can choose. Because in my practice, the super organizer, I really believe in finding a unique path that is yours. See, back to you again. That is yours to your path of success. I just believe that there are many ways to get a result. I subscribe to the theory that there are many roads that can lead to success. And there's many different approaches, and it depends on what it is you're going for. But each one could yield 2 or 3 approaches. Some may have 7 approaches. It just really depends, and everyone just really learns, comprehends differently. And my branding, of course, is all about relatability. And I just think that people, we've been so conditioned to be lazy and to not do anything that I want us to get out of that. And I think there are different ways to do that. And sometimes a strict method doesn't work for some people. Sometimes too lax of a method doesn't work for some people. It just really depends on what your brain responds to, because we all grew up differently too, and that plays a part in it. When I'm organizing people, it's very individual, it's very personal, and some people, if you raise your voice, some people just tune down, even though you're not yelling, but you get a loud voice. They're like, as you know, I have a loud, deep voice. It may trigger something for somebody. For some people, you have to ask them a certain way to think about something that may remind them of the way their grandmother said it, and they love it, so they'll do it. So I just feel like I just want to make sure that's, you're thinking about yourself, but I don't want you to be so concerned on, I got to find this one way, this one path to do it. There are so many different kinds of ways. It's kind of exciting and freeing to know that there are many different ways that are very individual to you to get somewhere. I like to say that I want to break down the walls. Because we put up so many different walls on I can't, I shouldn't, I don't. It's just all crazy. I want to break those walls down. And I want people to open their minds and their hearts to live more organized lives. That's all I try to do on my blogs, my radio show, and just by example. We're all humans. We come from a time in history. This is really interesting for us. We come from a time in history where we have the freedoms our ancestors didn't have. We live in a time where we can have all kinds of things of any nature. Excess can really become, an issue. And it's funny, for me, it started in the 80s. Obviously, excess was big. Everything was bigger and better, and there was Dynasty and that guy who should not be named, who became very popular in the 80s. Donald Trump. Very popular. My manager was like, who? I'm like, Donald Trump. The R, the D, and all that stuff. But it was all about excess and, Concorde jets, and just everything was like this big hair and big clothes and big shoulder pads, and everything was just big, and buy, and, go into finance and do this and become a star or whatever. It was such a big era in the 80s, especially. We started to buy things and just buy. And I noticed a lot of people that I work with, they have things from the 80s. I mean, like in the midst of their stuff. And I don't know if that's when it started for them, but it's part of that time. But we really are at a time in our lives now we can buy and have anything we want. We can keep anything we want. There's nobody policing our homes. But then also the other end of that is it becomes overwhelming. And then inertia becomes a problem. So there's kind of a weird thing there. Mark Twain has a quote that I actually like, and I want everybody to think about this. Quote, I have no respect for a man who can spell a word only one way. Think about that for a second. Very interesting. I have no respect for a man who can only spell a word only one way. So, of course, you don't look at that as literal, because, some words are just they spell one way, obviously. But there's a message in there. So I want you guys I'm not going to describe it. I want you guys to think about that. I just love that quote. I just think outside the box. I love that. I firmly believe that we can make a change in our lives. But, of course, first is want and desire. That's very important, want and desire. Once you have those things, then you can start to begin to explore the possibilities. You got to start from the beginning. So you're thinking about yourself, and you realize there's many paths to one thing, and now you're going to look at the possibilities. You have a want and desire. You have to do that. So I just think that, you know, you may find a book, try it out. If it doesn't work for you, don't be upset. Get another book. Or maybe you'll have two books that have two different things, but combined they work for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a person who, like, I get advice about things all the time. And I'm a person who, I'll listen, because sometimes you never know where it comes from. And it could be my, 11-year-old granddaughter could tell me something like, wow, you're right. You never know. So I take it in, and then I filter it for what I need out of it. Some of it is something that I need. Some of it isn't. Some of it I don't need it at all. And so I just put that somewhere else. But I use what I need when I get it. It's very interesting. So find the way that's unique to you. And I think it'll work. That's clear. I think it'll work. So the next thing I want to talk about, I call it I is for I. I did this thing on my blog a while back where I was doing everything for alphabets. And like, F is for this and G is for that. I did I is for I because we're talking about you. And I think these are a couple of things that you should think about because now you're thinking about yourself and you're going to work and make it better. This is one of the few times where I think there is an I in team. There you go. But when it comes to your shift of thinking to organize and live an organized life, I is the team. You is the team. That's kind of how I look at it. Now, I don't know about you guys out there, but I have voices in my head. I do. Oh, yeah, they talk sometimes. And they say things to me all the time. Like, they'll say things that like, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. Oh, screw that, don't do this. They say things all the time. I can usually block out most of it, but it's fine. But the whole thing is, it's about you. And a lot of times, the voices in your head will tell you, it's too much. I don't have time. I just can't do it right now. I'll do it later. Procrastination is a major voice in a lot of heads, I'll tell you. And procrastination, that voice sounds so calming and soothing and comforting. Think about it. I'll do it later. So you're excusing yourself from doing it now by telling yourself you'll do it later. And maybe you believe it. Maybe that's how you're like, I will do it later. Chances are you won't. But it's just a nice calming thing to say, oh, well, I'm calm. I'm okay now. First, I was really worried about what was going on, but now I'll do it in a few days, or I'll do it next week, or I'll do it in 2 months or whatever. And you calm yourself down. So then you don't do anything. That ain't good. But you can also talk yourself into something. That's right. Remember, this is all you, nobody else. These are a few things I want to give you a couple of tips on what you should say to yourself. Like going in front of a mirror, use your phone camera, Snapchat, I don't know, whatever you want to use. Say these things to yourself. I know it's up to me. I know that I have to make the decisions. I know that it's all begins with me. I can change my mindset. And I can do this. So I'm going to say this one more time. These are things you should say to yourself. I know it's all up to me. I know that I have to make the decisions. I know that it all begins with me. I can change my mindset. I can do this. I. Not AY, but I. Yes. Those are things that are really good because you have the want and desire at this point, and you're willing to look at options on how to do this. But you still got to have the motivation. You still got to build the motivation. You still got to feel confident that you can do this, whatever it is. I mean, it could be losing weight. It could be getting a new car. It could be changing a job. It could be getting out of a relationship. It could be organizing your closet. It's just these are things you have to kind of talk to yourself and just know that, yes, I can make these decisions. I have to. It's me. I can do this. I can change my mindset. That's another one, too, that people get stuck on in my life coaching business. People get stuck on that. Well, this is how I've been feeling this way for a long time. I had someone tell me recently, Well, I've always been a bad test taker. So I never passed tests. Like, well, have you ever looked into why you're a bad test taker? Or have you just accepted like that was your fate? I just don't take tests really well. There could be a learning disability. There could be a comprehension issue. It could be the test. Sometimes tests are not good. Maybe you're understanding differently. Maybe you didn't prepare enough. Maybe you over-prepared. I mean, there's so many different things that can go on that we will easily label ourselves something sometimes and just accept it for some reason. It's not a good thing to test so well. So my thing is, you want this job, and there's a test involved, or you went to school, there's a test involved. Well, you're just not going to. Then why go to school? Why get a job? I mean, why? I mean, come on. So I say, you have to change your mindset. It begins with you. And you can do this. People do this all the time. People do things all the time. All the time. All the time. So think about that. You and I can make it. No, I can't. I won't get in trouble by singing too much of that song, of course. What?
Oh, you're 100% able to sing songs.
But I thought you can only do like 30 seconds or something.
Oh, we can't play. Not even play 30 seconds. We can't play music at all. But we can sing it.
You can sing it.
I had a show. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to get into that. I'll tell you during break.
Guys, you guys can't hear the story. No. By the way, I always like to break into song, as you know, on the show every once in a while. But I'm like, I won't go fully into it. That'll be another show. Kind of funny. But that was the little Michael Jackson song I was thinking about. I'll be there. Because I was thinking of Al and I and be there.
See, I went Michael Bublé.
Oh, I like him too. He's great. I discussed about Michael Bublé the other day on my show. So he was with some on him. So us. Okay, yes. So we're going to. I feel so giddy today for some reason. Because I actually went and saw my friend Lauren LaGrasso sing last night at the Other Door in North Hollywood. She's a great singer-songwriter. Follow her on her page, Lauren LaGrasso. She's so good. I had a good time. So I guess I'm feeling giddy today because of her and art. And see, she's all about herself, and she did it. She's doing it right now. She's living her dreams as a singer, songwriter. So there you go. We're going to talk some more about you and I when we come back to the Super Organizer Show on AdrenalineRadio.com.
What's up, Ruckus? Check us out. It's a sports rap every Monday night from 7 to 8.
Giving it to you every which way there is sports. That's football, basketball, hockey, NASCAR. We're going to give it to you here every week on Adrenaline Radio, 1680 AM.
Wings! That's all we needed?
Yeah.
Tell me where to go, man.
Real sports, y'all.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hey, neighbor, getting some sod put in?
Yeah, it's Marathon.
Yeah, that's what I got. But yours looks so much greener and thicker than mine. What's going on? I'm going to call the growers.
Southland Sod Farms, may I help you?
My Marathon sod doesn't look as good as my neighbor's.
Are you sure yours is Marathon?
That's what I asked for.
Let me do a computer search. We don't have a record of your delivery. You didn't get genuine Marathon sod.
What do you mean?
Sometimes unscrupulous contractors, retailers, and other sod farms lead you to think they're selling Marathon, but then substitute a lesser brand.
That really teased me off. How could I have known I got a cheap imitation?
Look for the bold, genuine Marathon label on the sod pallets when they're delivered.
Don't get cheated. Look for the genuine Marathon sod logo displayed by nurseries and landscape contractors at the Yellow Pages. Or call 1-800-4MARATHON for a free do-it-yourself video and authorized dealer list. That's 1-800-4, then Marathon. Or visit the website at www.sod.com.
Oh, hi.
Do you know what this is the sound of? It's the sound of me getting rewarded for doing my part to prevent wildfires. See, right now I'm getting a big, remarkably heartfelt bear hug from Smokey Bear. Thanks, big guy. And now we're shaking. Okay. First, I made sure there were no low-hanging branches when I set up my campfire. Hey, Smokey, let me down for just a second. I need to make sure everyone can hear this. There we go. Then, when we were packing up to leave, I drowned out my campfire, stirred it, drowned it out again, and then made sure to feel it if it was cold. Oh, Smokey Bear really loves it when you do that, don't you, Smokey? Oh, he lets his hugs do the talking. Visit SmokeyBear.com to learn tips to prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm bouncy, I'm ready. This is the SOS Show with James Lott Jr. here on AdrenalineRadio.com. I am the helper. I'm the SOS person who answers the SOS. I'm James Lott Jr., the super organizer. Yes, the super organizer. You can follow me at superorganizer.com, superorganizeruniverse.com, anything where super organizers are sold. It's me. So, we're talking about you. You got the want and desire. You have different paths of success. You know you can do it. Now let's talk about what you will not do again. These are things you're going to do for yourself because you're not going to repeat bad, negative, disruptive behavior and thoughts. 1, you're going to make a commitment to yourself to make positive changes in your life. You're going to make a commitment to yourself to make positive changes in your life. Make it. Make it. Number 2, you're going to tell yourself that the bad habits stop today. They stop today. Stop it. Number 3, make yourself a priority. That's right. If you don't take care of yourself first, you can't help nobody else. It's so true. You're no good to nobody else if you don't take care of yourself first. Remember that. You may think you're helping everybody else and, I'll get to me soon at some point. No, you're actually doing yourself and others a disservice. Take care of yourself first. Number 4, tell yourself that you will break the cycle. So you're stopping the bad habits. You're going to break the cycle. What once was does not work anymore. It wasn't working in the first place, but now you recognize it and you are done. So you're going to tell yourself that you will break the cycle. Number 5, stop making decisions that don't really serve you well. Stop it. Stop it right now. That's it. I'm angry for you. I'm angry in a good sense. I'm like, come on. Number 6, start small. Start big. Start however you feel comfortable. Again, it goes into that whole thing of everyone works differently. And for some people, it is, I got inch by inch. Hey, start small is fine. Any little piece still is a step. Every step is a step. Every inch is an inch. They all add up at some point. It's completely the thing. If you start big, start big. That's fine. It does not matter. Some people are grand. They like to go in and do sweeping things and be done. Like that way. But start however you feel comfortable, not what somebody tells you. You do it at your own levels. Number 7. Took me a second. I didn't notice. Number 7. You are worth it. Now say that 10, 11 times. You are worth it. Number 8. I know these sound nice, and you're saying them out loud to yourself. But now remember, say to yourself, it may not happen overnight. but it will happen. So make commitment to yourself to keep saying these things to yourself, the things I just mentioned. Say them to yourself, and hopefully you will begin to believe them. Because one of the things you're going to do today is you're going to not accept things just the way they are. There will be no more fear in trying, no more defeat, no more poor attitude. It ends today. Now, of course, today could be tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. Whenever you decide to make the commitment to yourself, that's your today. I'd love if all you guys, as you listen to this radio thing, decide today's today. But whenever you're ready, that's where it ends today. Very, very serious. So I'm telling you guys, just, come on. Now, there is an obstacle that comes up that I know for people when it comes to getting help. And I know I talk about it on here because I'm a professional organizer, certified life coach, and so I'm here to help. That's what I do. Or getting a therapist or a counselor or whatever, it's kind of hard. And I have people in my life who said they could never hire a person to come in and help them with their clutter or messiness. I know people who they feel kind of a sense of guilt or shame on how they let things go so far. They know what's going on in their home. They get it. But they know they did it. And another statement that I hear a lot of is also, I should be doing it myself. I bring somebody in here, they'll see that, why am I doing it myself? Well, obviously you're not, so. There are several things I want you to think about. Excuse me. Perdóname. I want you to take the guilt and shame out. What's done is done. It be done already. You're done. It's done. You can't change what has happened. You can't. You can't change what happened in the past. You can never change the past. I always say one of my favorite lines is forgiveness. And you basically have to forgive yourself. And forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past can be any different. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be any different or can be any different, because you literally can't do anything about it. So it's done. So you just need to learn from it. You can, and you can positively grow from it. Having guilt and shame does not help the situation. It holds you back. And here's something else. People say this, and it's kind of funny. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. You are not alone in this situation. You are not alone. There's people out there who are going through the same or something similar to what you're going through. So you're not alone. I find comfort in that sometimes. I just kind of do. I'm not by myself. I do. You have the right to screen, and you have a right to help find the right person to help you. Especially if there's money involved, you got to make sure you find the right person, right? Many professional organizers subscribe to the no judgment zone. I know I do. We respect your stuff. We know it's yours. We're not there. We have no attachment to it. We know it's yours, and we're not in there to really disrupt you. We're here to help you. But you have the right to find the right person who makes you feel comfortable and safe. Because they're coming into your space, everybody's personalities are different. So it really depends on finding that right personality to work with you. Maybe that person's style doesn't work for you. They're good at what they do. There are a lot of great organizers out there, and I totally tell you guys you should go talk to them. But maybe just their style isn't good for you. And you got to find somebody who's a right fit. It's another relationship you're creating. It's like when you find a nanny or a babysitter or a daycare, or when you find a therapist or a counselor or a doctor. You really want to go in there. We find a barber or a hairstylist. You want to find somebody who's there to make you look good and help you out. Another way to think about this is you're giving jobs to professionals. Whether it's a housekeeper, gardener, organizer, you're supplying money to an industry of hard-working folks, and we do work hard. My back is killing me today. I did 3 days in a row of major organizing with people, and my back is killing me. I'm old. I look young. I'm old. My grandfather. I'm tired. But I love my job, and I love doing it. So you're providing work for them, and it's just a wonderful thing. We want to keep our economy going, and the end result, of course, out of all of this is this glorious. When you get someone in there that helps you out, you have an organized space, or you have an organized life. You'll totally be thanking yourself. So I really, 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 really invite you to get help if you need it, because it's okay to admit that you don't know what to do next. And sometimes it's just that you need a cheerleader. You need somebody to kind of work with you to say, yes, you can do this. Because you want to get organized, you want to get ready. You're ready. You want to do it. You're ready. So I'm gonna expand on that a little more. I have another thing called releasing shame, because there's a lot of shame that goes along with these, and when in your situation, and I really do feel like shame has no place. Has no place in there at all. So let me see if I can. I'm having a moment here. I have my notes. It's so important to not have a problem with getting help because you have some shame and like how the situation looks. Shame comes in many different forms, of course, and so I invite you guys to think about what kind of shame you may have on how your situation looks. And the definition of shame, there's several definitions, and one is the intensely painful feeling where we believe we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. The roots of the word shame come from an older word meaning to cover. Discussing shame requires trust and vulnerability. One goal of this presentation, basically is to put shame into words, transform it into self-compassion. As we're talking today, we are talking about, releasing, starting over. Shame is just not a good thing. You should not have shame. Let's eradicate it now. Shame does nothing positive. It doesn't move the process along. It doesn't make things better. It just stops everything. We got to stop living in that space. You got to stop it. You just got to stop it. And I think people need to release it. It happened. This is what's going on. You are worthy. You are worth it. You can get better. And you have to just do it. That's it. Just do it. So I'm inviting you to do that also, because it's all about you, and shame has no place. The next thing that's kind of a major thing too is that it's not impossible. It's just overwhelming. That's another thing too that people sometimes get caught on when it comes to getting help. And I say this all the time. It's not impossible. It's just overwhelming. I was having a discussion with my daughter the other night, and she's a full-time worker with 3 children, and she's busy. And she has desires of getting things in order, right? And it's just hard. It's just hard. It is. And you have to really, really put some stuff together to make things happen. Sometimes you have to really figure out a way to make something work, which means you have to be open to the possibilities of making it work and finding that way and finding that varied path to your own success. It may look insurmountable. And a lot of times when it looks insurmountable, nothing gets done. You see that huge pile of clothes, dirty or clean, no matter. You say, never mind, and you decide to work with it. Now, does it make your life harder trying to find that matching sock in the pile? Yes. The obvious thing would be, would it be easier if the socks were all in a drawer all matched up? Yes. So the first question becomes, how do I get from digging for socks out of a pile of clothes in the middle of the room to getting a pair of socks out of a clean drawer? It's literally what that's just the first, and that can be transferred into anything. How do I go from finding a pair of jeans in the closet, on the floor or in the back, to finding jeans neatly hung up, color-coded or whatever? I can just go in and get them. That can be transferred into the kitchen, the living room. It could be transferred to your job, whatever. Just like, how do you get from point A of disorganization to point B of organized? That's what it is. A, disorganization, B, organized. How do we get there? That should be your question. To be able to even answer that question and explore the pathway to that solution, you have to tell yourself it's not impossible, it's just overwhelming. I find that as a very truth-based statement. Because I always feel like once you identify the truth, you can truthfully work from there to better your life. And it's okay for things to be overwhelming. It's okay to admit that you have poor time management. What's not okay is to run yourself into the ground and not work to change that. You may even need help to get organized. You may need to start small. I just implore each of you in this situation to acknowledge that it's overwhelming and to do something about it. Whether you believe it or not, you're hurting yourself and others involved, and you don't want to do that. You don't. So I hope you got some good stuff, and I'm gonna continue having more you shows as we go along the rest of this year, and because I really feel like I'm giving you some valuable stuff that I teach my clients all the time, and I really want you guys to be successful in your lives. I really do. I may not know who you are personally. I do know some of you. Some of you guys give me great feedback and talk to me, and I love it. Please continue to talk to me. Go to my blog, superorganizeruniverse.com. Read my blogs. Comment. I love healthy debates. I love commenting back. I love giving tips. Please continue to do that. Some of you guys do that, and it's been great. I live in gratitude of that, and thanks. And but let's talk about it. I really want you, because I don't know you personally, but you're still part of my village. When you are cluttered and not happy, it does affect me. On some level, on a cosmic level, I feel like it affects me. I want more happy people. I want more organized people, because if you're more organized, maybe there'll be less traffic on the road. Maybe not everybody's running out at the last time trying to get somewhere, leaving at the time they're supposed to leave. It's crazy. So that's another show for you today. And again, let me thanks and gratitude for all of radio, all my friends on other radio shows and podcasts, and this one especially. I don't take for granted at any part of my life that I am here at adrenalineradio.com doing this show every week. I love it so much, and it's a blessing. You can find me, of course. I am on social media everywhere. I am everywhere. Okay, so on Twitter, it is the SOS_show, or the Super O, or Black Hope LA. Those are three of my Twitter handles. You can talk to me there. On Facebook, I have a page for the Super Organizer Show. I have a fan page for James Lott Jr., so you can follow me on one of those two. And also, there's a page for the Super Organizer. So any of those three pages you can also follow too, and please do. And then I have my blog, the superorganizeruniverse.com, which I do everything I talked about today are on my blogs. You can find them there. You can find all the blog posts there. I just surpassed 666 blog posts. What a crazy number. It was totally crazy. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. It's crazy talk. Then if you want to hear the show or see what I do, because I do shows for AfterBuzz TV, Black Hollywood Live, Popcorn Talk, all over the place, my YouTube channel, the Super Organizer James Lott Jr. Type all that in. You'll find me. All my stuff's organized. My playlists are organized. You can find my work. Then, of course, the grandfather of them all, my website, thesuperorganizer.com. If you want to hire me, want me to come speak at your speaking engagements, organizing, you want to find other organizers in your neighborhood, come to me and I'll hook you up with them too. Because there's some great organizers across the country, and other countries too, that are great. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks again for the Super Organizer Show with James Lott Jr. on AdrenalineRadio.com.